my producer. Pull from the hip, 4/5, I'm the shooter. Dog, I do ya. But the two don't discriminate, cause I shoot the guy next to ya. I can see right through.
So tell me how you got backstage though.
Same thing. So once I got down to the court, you know, now they're trying to figure out who am I? Whose son am I? Whose nephew am I? And you know me, Jerome Williams in the layup line, you know, he looked at me and said, hi. That's all I need to know. That nigga, he my fucking cousin, huh? You know what? hey, he shouldn't have said hi. I didn't tell him to say hi. He waved. So to me, that was a sign for God to say he my cousin. And we looked alike a little bit at the time. Hey, I couldn't say Gray Hill was my cousin. He was too big time.
What guy had to be your hall?
So Jerome, like, man, yeah, Jerome was my cousin. And they got to the back. Like, Jerome, your little cousin out there trying to get back here. He's like, huh? He came out, because they went to go get him. He in the locker room changing after the game. Jerome in compression shorts. And they, you know, I'm writing the book. They're like, Jerome, your cousin out here saying you gotta come get him a pass. He's like, you know, Jerome from Mississippi. He from what, Mississippi or something. And he playing for the Pistons. He like my cousin. Man, Jerome came to the front and he seen me face. My eyes got big and I just said, he's like, yeah, he with me.
You're real.
Back at it again, y'all, with another interview. This time I'll have Marvin introduce him. Go ahead, Marvin.
I got my brother, my Doughboy brother, my Mac brother, my big brother, Aundrey Ricks, man. What's going on, bro?
Man, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me on here, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, appreciate you coming on.
So good to have another point guard, and he wore number 12. You know, there used to be a point guard at Austin Peay State University who wore number 12. Good looking, light skinned guy. But anyway.
That sound a little bit like you.
So man, hey, so talk about Persian, man. Why Persian?
Man, you know, man, growing up playing at Reach, you know, you almost had to go to Persian. Persian was like it was a feeder school for Reach, you know, and then like I said, when you played at Reach, all they talk about is Persian. And I came out with the era with Michael Bailey. I don't know if you guys remember Michael Bailey. He was really good. Jacob Shaw, Arthur Johnson. That was my Reach era when they was the dominant at Persian. And Marcus Taylor at the Brazza. And Reach youth program, they took a group full of kids down to Michigan State and watched that Persian game. And man, it was just so much electricity in that building. It was almost like being at a Piston game. And it was a high school game. And from there, I knew I had to be a dope boy.
So Dre, tell everybody, because at one point in time, man, you left. And
yes,
then you
yes.
Back, man. So explain your mindset when this was a school you wanted to go to, but then you thought about leaving. You know what I'm saying? And then came back.
Yeah. So after my freshman year, I had a really good JV year, a really good summer. And you know, you guys don't know Mike Pope and Jarrell Phillips. You know, Jarrell Phillips is, you know, he is Reach. You know, him and Rashad Phillips, that's Virgil's son. And I was looking at it as a business standpoint. You know, I think everything I did in my life, I was looking at it as a business standpoint, so far as personal. And I told myself, well, even though I am good, Jarrell is also good. And his daddy is Persian, is Reach. So I told myself, I think the best thing for me to do is transfer. Now, it wasn't about running or battling for that spot. You know, I do everything strategically. And, you know, I figured that was the best move at that time, playing the political side of it.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I hear a connection so much with Reach, man. Talk about what Reach does. I mean, just what it meant to kids like you, you know?
Like I was saying, like, though, out of 100%, I'll say 20%, you know, I probably wouldn't be here without Reach as far as on earth, because I know myself. And 80% chances I wouldn't be a college graduate. I was the type of kid that would get all D's and F's and would try to change that D into a B.
He ain't lying, though. He ain't lying.
My F was A. My F was A plus. So I never really had. So I never ever had it. I never seen an F in my life. Always, soon that F came, I switched it to an A. So I used to go in there like, so I got all A's. And
Dre, now go ahead.
And then but they was on it. You know, they was on it. So they cared about me more than basketball. It was bigger than basketball. They cared about me as a human being. And I think that kind of made me get my stuff together, made me kind of, everything. And definitely a life impact, reaches a life impact.
So let's stay on Reese. Explain how influential Mark and V was.
Man, you know, man, they were so influential to not only me, to everybody in that neighborhood, because a lot of us, you know, we had our fathers, you know, we had our fathers in our life, but at a certain age, you don't listen to your daddy. You always listen to your mama because it's just a different bond. But your daddy, man, after a certain age, you're like, all right, man, shit, all right. And I think with Verge and Mark, we respected them so much, they was like our daddies. And we never knew what it was like to grow up without a dad, because they always filled that void. And that's huge.
What was your Reese name?
Man, I was Paul Pierce. Then I was Paul Pierce, my original. Then I was Rayford Austin, Mateen Cleves. Then after a while, they just started calling me the Con Man.
Now,
hey, they said, forget basketball. We're gonna start calling you the Con Man.
Okay. Now, going back to what you just said, touching on what you just said there about, you know, them being, you know, like father figures. Okay, but now you were known as a gritty, tough point guard. I know half of that was Persian. The other half, man, your dad and your uncle out of Kronk Gym, Jimmy Paul, the world champion. Yes, I know you had to get something from there.
Man, listen, man. Growing up in that Kronk Gym was something different. I mean, that was something different. That was a whole nother experience, you know, just seeing my uncle win the world champion. And you know, Thomas Hearns, that's my uncle. He's actually married to Jimmy Paul. His niece is married to Jimmy Paul, so he's my real uncle. And yeah, growing up in Croc different, you know, just being around that atmosphere, and that kind of gave me a little push. Now, the one thing I do say that I do regret is, and I talk to my wife about this all the time, they didn't let me box. I used to be in the Kronk Gym, and they would never let me put gloves on. And I used to always cry, like, why I can't do this? Why I can't box? And one thing my dad said, there is no scholarship for boxing.
That's real.
At the time, I didn't understand. And honestly, that kind of pushed me away from a lot of things. Because I'm like, well, why? Like, how you not gonna let me box? You guys world champion. We got Emmanuel Stewart in here. I need to be boxing. And they would never, ever let me box. And I'm just now, as a grown man, understanding why.
And why you think why?
It's a short career, because boxing, any sport will handicap you, because when you're good at something, you get showered with little, not fame, but popularity, gifts, but shit, when the real world hit, what is life without boxing? What is life after boxing? What is life after basketball? And that would, being a boxer, that would have kind of hindered me from kind of growing. Like shit, getting hit in your head a lot of times and trying to start a business, tough.
It's
tough.
It's crazy you said that because we just had Caddy on. What was that? Two episodes ago, or maybe
Cotty King on just the other day.
Cotty King, I know. See, I grew up with Cotty. I know all of them. Cotty King, they're my guys. But like I said, boxing is a tough sport, man. Because like I said, with boxing, and then back then they weren't making the money they making now. So you getting beat up and you getting 30,000.
Yeah.
You buy you buy you a new car. Shit, you got to get beat up again. I don't like that. Yeah. Look, my nose already big. Shit, I'm struggling. Look, I got a bald head. I can't afford no more.
Hey, I'm gonna rewind it for a second, man. That Persian team that I had a pleasure of being your teammate on, being one of the younger generations coming up with that. Where do you rate that Persian team?
Oh man, that team. That's in my top. That Persian. So people don't know this. With that Persian team, we didn't win the states
or the cities,
but that Persian team put Persian back on the map.
Yeah, top 25 in the country.
Yeah, we was top 25 team in the country, and before that year, Persian was like Chastity. Didn't nobody know about it. Didn't nobody even care about Persian basketball no more. It was so watered down. It wasn't what it is today. And like ever since that year, Persian since then been just maintaining. But I think we kindled that spark since Arthur Johnson, Michael Bailey, Carlton Duckett, that era. Yeah, we re-sparked that. Thanks to Jabari, Petey, you, Booney. We was like shit, man. We was like rock stars in the city.
How many D1s was on that team?
Everybody on that team was D1. And some, if it wasn't basketball, it was football. I know Tyson was. Everybody on that team was D1, and and I think A-Dub did a really, really good job. But you got to think about in Dub's point of view, man, he young with all that talent. Mm-hmm. He's young himself, and you give him all that talent. I think he did. I think Dub did a really, really good job of. We all had egos too.
For sure. And it's crazy because we had A-Dub on the show, and he kind of touched on that era and him losing and the egos and things of that nature.
And we had big egos. We all had egos. Me, Petey, you, Jabari. It's tough. It's almost like the Brooklyn Nets. They good on paper, but shit, LeBron closing them deals. LeBron winning them games, and I think Redford was winning those games because, and it's hard playing on the team. You got so many go-to guys.
Sure.
Yep.
Explain those battles in practice.
Man, them battles at practice, boy, we used to get it in. It was tough. It made us who we are as men because anybody at any given time can take your spot. Yeah. The only person spot probably was secure was Jabari's.
Yeah, Jabari's a bucket getter.
Yeah, he was secure. But people don't know, even when Petey got cut from the team.
All right.
That's how stacked we was. He got shit. They cut him. But they cut him. And I don't think it was for basketball, for other reasons. And it made him shape up, become a better man, better person. Then he came back, shit, he one of the best things to ever come out of there.
Sure. Now Vince, I know you got one, but I want to ask this one first because I know we'll probably switch it to college. But Joey, a lot of people don't know, man, you was part of the N1 scene when the N1 scene first hit.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
No, you good. Look, that's a part. Man, yes, that N1 era was, that was the biggest thing far as street ball that probably ever will be. It'll never be like N1 because it changed the game of youth sports in that era. Because think about a lot of people back then, street ball was real popular. It's not as popular as it used to be. The Quinter Park, that park was always, that park was just like going to a Persian game.
It was.
And so yeah, I played for N1, and people don't know how I played for N1. Actually, they told me I couldn't play. But shit, I wasn't leaving that. So they had a game at Callahan Hall. N1 was playing against like Detroit Star. I had to be like in the 8th grade. But I was like the king of N1 stuff because I didn't have a rim. So I used to just dribble in the basement all the time. And I knew N1 was coming, and I'm like, you know what? I'm playing in this game. and I just wouldn't take no for an answer. I damn near with a state car when they do, man, when people run on the court naked. I was about to shriek their ass. Hey, you look, y'all gonna let me play? So look, and then the dude, he just feels so sorry for me. And I never forget, I had on like gear clothes. I ain't had on basketball clothes. I had on actual gear clothes. And he was like, man, you ain't got no clothes on. How you gonna play, man? I dropped my pants like 30 seconds. He just shook his head and said, go ahead, man, just go.
So you go from being the con man, Mateen Cleaves, going to Persian, gridded out. Now it's only fitting you in a car, because tell me about seatbelt. Tell me about the name seatbelt.
Yeah, that was the name. That was, they called me the seatbelt. So the dude was like, you know what, sir? I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to get on the court. And after 3 minutes, you got to come out the game, because it's a liability. Because these are real grown men. If somebody fall on you or something, and I'm like, all right. So I told myself, shit, 3 minutes? Shit, I'm from the hood. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. So he thought he was giving me a little bit of time, but back in my mind, I'm thinking like, this motherfucker crazy. You said 3 whole minutes? And then so I knew that 3 minutes, I was going into Kobe mode. I ain't passing it. I only got 3 minutes. I'm not trying to pass it. So the first couple of moves, he did headache took the first move I did. No, that was to get the rust off, because people in the crowd was like, man, where this dude come from? Because they didn't know who I was. And then after that second move, I looked at that clock. I had like a minute and a half left. I'm like, shit, something gonna happen. And just by the grace of God, I was able to pull off a move, and they just started yelling out seatbelt. And after that, it just came out in one day. They called me the seatbelt, and they put me on a couple of mixtapes. It was a good experience, man. And I think what I learned from that's bigger than basketball, this shit. You can't take no for an answer.
Now it's funny that you said that. So now I'm gonna tell a story about us. So we had to be because you're 2 years older than me. So I had to be like in the 6th grade. You probably was in the 8th going to the 9th, and we went to a Piston game. And I think, long story short, he got on the floor. But he told me he was gonna get on the floor though for sure. And I'm looking like, man, he ain't about to get on the floor. I ain't even about to go with Dre, because I ain't even about to get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? I look up Dre on the floor with Jerome's Junkyard Dog. So my thing was, and Dre, you could tell a little bit more about this, because y'all wound up being damn near best friends now. Y'all talk all the time.
Yep.
What was in your mind as a 15-year-old? Because like you said, you never, somebody tell you no, you're gonna find a way to say yes. What was going through your mind to get you to make you go to the floor, and then now you build the relationship? And he got backstage, and he got pretzels, hot dogs, and hamburgers. Everything backstage.
Yeah. I think all right, so growing up, like I said, growing up in Reach, one thing about Reach, everybody's good. So it wasn't like no best guard. You got Marcus Pope going at Twan, and then you got Mike, then you throw me in there, then you got another guy coming. So everybody was good. It wasn't like the only person that really was the best was Deion Harris.
And Rashad Taylor.
And Rashad. Them the two kingpins of Reach. Everybody else is a flip a coin. So I knew I had to be different. And one thing that separated me from all the Reach players, they was just like, they wasn't shy on the court, but off the court, I could see a little bit of their personality kind of in a shell a little bit. All right. And so I told myself, well, that's not me. I don't care. I can't get embarrassed. Like I wore a size 7 shoe. I was hooping in a size 10 with 12 pair of socks on. And I didn't care. And I just used that mentality like, all right, I need to get to that court. The worst thing they can do is tell me no. It's 300 staff members working. They got like all the different tunnels you can go in. It's 300 staff members working these seats. 300. All 300 gonna say no?
I like the way you think, man.
If all 300 say no, I'm doing something wrong. So
I like that mind state.
Man, so we get to the game early because we were real big on watching the warm-ups. But while all the other rich kids was watching the warm-ups, I was maneuvering. So by the time I get to the court, I probably got probably about 75 times. But that 80 times, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, man. And that's all I needed was that one. So, I mean, if it's 300, I'm shooting the dice in the 300, and I tell them I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back going to the bathroom. Next thing you know, I'm on the court. 300 people can't tell. If 300 people tell you no, you're doing something wrong.
So tell them how you got backstage, though.
Same thing. So once I got down to the court, now they're trying to figure out who am I? Whose son am I? Whose nephew am I? And me, Jerome Williams in the layup line, he looked at me and said, hi. That's all I need to know. That nigga, he my fucking cousin, huh? hey, he shouldn't have said hi. I didn't tell him to say hi. He waved. So to me, that was a sign for God to say he my cousin. And we looked alike a little bit at the time. Hey, I couldn't say Gray Hill was my cousin. He was too big time.
What guy had to be your Hall?
So Jerome, like, man, yeah, Jerome was my cousin. And they got to the back. He's like, Jerome, your little cousin out there trying to get back here. He's like, huh? He came out, because they went to go get him. He in the locker room changing after the game. Jerome in compression shorts. And I'm right in the booth. They're like, Jerome, your cousin out here telling you gotta come get him a pass. He's like, Jerome from Mississippi. He from what, Mississippi or something. And he playing for the Pistons. He like, my cousin. Man, Jerome came to the front and he seen me face. My ass got big and I just said, he's like, yeah, he with me.
You're real one.
Hey, Jerome been I call Jerome right now. We look, that's my man. That's my man, Jerome. I got my gym out in Vegas. Jerome be in my gym. That's my man.
All off of him, he with me.
He with me. And that, that's really God. That's really God. All God did, I think, was I'm gonna meet you halfway. You willing to do all this? I'm gonna make Jerome say he with me. Cause you know what? Jerome's a real spiritual man, so he really is with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow. So then we go to Western Michigan. Why Western Michigan?
I think I committed so early. Western Michigan's a funny story because I committed to Western Michigan from playing street ball. When I played for N1, I was kind of really done with high school basketball. I was ineligible. I was just doing N1 all day. And I went to a DePort's open gym. So what I used to do is I used to go to all high school open gyms. And that was my high school league because I couldn't never play in the PSL. I couldn't get the grades. So I was going to open gyms and the Western Michigan coach was there and he's like, dang, who is my man? And so they down there offered me a scholarship and I ain't play no games. I was committed before I even played, I think, a Persian game on varsity. I mean JV, but I was committed before I even played a Persian varsity game.
Wow. So I guess piggyback on that one. I know this question, but maybe you can explain it to it, man. One of your memorable games when you played against your younger brother, Tawan Porter. And
yeah.
And we was everybody from Reach, from 6 Mile, 7 Mile, 8 Mile, from Detroit was tuned into that game, man. Explain that game, that moment when you playing against your little brother from the neighborhood.
Man, TP, man, we played at Oregon too. So we went up there that night, and it was a tournament. So Oregon played against Pacific the night before. So I'm there with Western Michigan. We sitting and watching the game. TP had like 36. And when I mean they loved TP was like Jesus Shadowworth up there. And so now, shit, I'm like, damn, I'm thinking, I hope TP don't do this to me, man. I'm thinking like TP. But I knew I was going to be playing. So I'm like, well, shit, I'm the only one that can really check him on this team.
Yeah, his game.
Yeah. And then the coach, I think they set that up on purpose. So we in the layup line, and when I looked down there and we looked at each other, made eye contact, I just had like a flashback of when we was kids, riding on handlebars and, playing that reach and, just, see, me and TP probably was the closest because we used to ride on handlebars to reach, and we just stared at each other in the eyes and just kind of like, I guess we was in a daze. Like, damn, this stuff is really, God really real.
Yeah.
This is real. We went from playing on Greeley with no basketball nets to actually playing in a sold out arena against each other. And I think, man, that's a memorable, it wasn't even about the game, it wasn't even about the score or, I think he had like 10 points. I had like 8 or 10. They won by like 8, but it was more of the brotherhood that, that's gonna last lifetime. And it was in the newspaper the next day. So that's one of my memorable moments. And the playing against Davidson, playing against Curry was another memorable moment.
That's my next question. Talk about that.
Man, playing against Curry was an amazing opportunity. Let me tell you why, Skip. One thing about being from Detroit, we judge people. And what I mean by judge people as a basketball player, we judge people off little things. Like if your shoes ain't right, you're not about to check them. Little things, too.
Man, that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, so little things get us going. And you walk. That's how he walked. Oh, I'm about to bless his ass. So it's the little stuff like that. And so we played Davidson on Tuesday. We the team get there the day before. They do shoot around and stuff. So we at Western. So I goes up to the gym and sneak, because Curry was the man. I sneak and watch him. He had on some high top all black Air Force Ones. Oh, I'm like, shit, it's kill time. And I got wheat Timbs on, Albertine. I'm like, oh, come on, man. This little, he's so corny. So that was my ammo. I had to have something. That was my ammo. I'm like, oh man, that's how he. And then like to the game, he wore the warm ups too. Like he wear, we shoot around. You wear like the track outfits.
Mm-hmm.
He wore his actual game warm ups. So I'm like, this dude really a ham. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, I went to bed that night. Like, oh, I'm checking stuff. And so we get to the game. I see him in the lab line. I'm already feeling good. So I already judged him. So I'm checking him. And he hit a couple of shots, but it wasn't nothing crazy. I hit a couple of shots. And then it was an out of bounds play. I came off a double pick and I did a step back and he fell. Now I don't know if I made him fall. All I know he hit the ground. So to me, you hit the ground, I made you fall. And I was like, yeah. I said, uh-oh. What? I said something.
He wanted to kill mode.
So he about 7 threes in a row. I swear to God, only about I swear to God, he hit 7 threes in a row, right? And then he ain't say nothing to me. No, that was scary. Look, he didn't give me no eye contact. He ain't clap. He ain't say nothing to me. Like I ain't never seen him, but he ain't say nothing. Like nothing. Like, and I was trying to in an out of bounds play, you kind of grab their jersey. He ain't hit my hand off.
So he was in the zone.
I ain't never had my ass bust like that. It was so bad. My coach called a timeout. He said, "Dre, I ain't never seen this happen to you." And you know what I said?
You said,
"Shit, me either." Hey, guess what he said next?
What he said?
Your ass can have a seat on his bench. And guess what I said, Skip?
What you say?
I Skip, I said it in this voice. I like that. Hey, Skip. Hey, that's the exact voice. I like that, coach.
So now you go from being, Jerome Williams' nephew or cousin. You backstage.
You might as well just say his son. Shit.
Yeah, okay. So you get back passes to the locker room there. Now you're on Sports Center, top 10 plays. How does this happen?
Man. Yeah. It's crazy, man, because I felt like, yeah. You know, that day that we had played against Virginia Tech, and the game before, so who was working? No one in turn. We played against Virginia Tech, and then, I always had the N1 moves. Coach would never let me do them. Every time I did a crossover that looked like the N1, I was on that pitch.
Sure.
So he made, I would used to be Rayford Austin. I turned it to DJ Augustine. That's the only chance. That's the only time I had to play because, one thing you learn is college basketball a lot different from high school. And, it's a lot of good high school players, but when you get to college, it's different. It's a system. And so I think I snuck and did that move and ended up on ESPN.
You sneaky.
I don't doubt it. With everything else, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I snuck and did that move because he was overplaying the bar screen, and I should have actually used the screen like the play was, but my reach instincts, it came out the bag, and everything I know I was on ESPN. And Coach said, "You baby, lucky you pulled that off." But look, hey, after the Curry, every time Coach said something, that was my new play. Yes, Coach.
Hey, Dre, my next thing for you, man. I'm gonna tell you this because I know a lot of people tell you this, but you really started the entrepreneur business when you was in college. You was like really ahead of your time. Now that I sit back and really think about, just all the stuff that you was in college, Raw Impact. What was your mindset of starting at Raw Impact, and then did you really understand that you was a businessman still in college?
Now, this is interesting. This is very interesting because I think one thing, like I said, just to go back from that Piston stuff when I said I used to, just think different. And one thing for me that I think that I do that a lot of athletes don't do is I'm honest with myself early. My sophomore year, after I scored 29 points against San Diego State. After that game, most people would think, well, shit, I found it. I arrived. That was my career high. Like, damn, I scored 29 points. Okay, I got a chance. Know what mine?
What was yours?
You ain't going to the NBA. And if you do go overseas, you're going to get a late start in life. Because you're going to go overseas for 7 years and play. And now you're going to have to come back home and try to start a business after 7 years of playing overseas with no experience. This after I scored 29 points. That night, I had this called epiphany. At that time, I knew my best wasn't enough.
That's real.
And I think after that game, now most people say when they hit a career high, they're going to ride that wave for them, did it. I rode the wave. I didn't ride the wave. I drove the wave. I parlayed that game, not on the court. I parlayed that confidence in the entrepreneur aspect. I told myself, right now, I'm the man in the Kalamazoo. I just had 29 points against an unbeaten San Diego State, coached by Steve Fisher. He coached at 5'5". For a school like Western Michigan, we don't beat big teams like that. It's like a Cinderella. So everybody in the town happy. Let me take this moment and set up some business meeting with the mayor. I met with the mayor. I say a couple of days after that game, I met with the city commissioner. I met with all the people that run nonprofits after that game. Got all their contacts, and I wasn't afraid to use them. And then from there, after my sophomore year, I played at Western because that was my key. Didn't care about basketball. I seen something bigger, but that was my key. Going overseas never crossed my mind. Why? Why would I go overseas to chase a dream? And not saying I'm giving up on my dream. I see a bigger dream. And I think my mentality kind of really got me serious about being an entrepreneur because, and like I said earlier, Skip, 300 people can't tell me no. There's 700 billion people in the world. Somebody gonna buy my stuff. I can get in front of all these people. If you get a half drunken bottle of Gatorade in front of 1 million people, and you sell it at $1, how much money you think you'll make?
The chances is pretty high.
Correct.
So that was the mindset you came. So that's the mindset you have. But why Raw Impact? Because I heard so many different stories, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers heard a lot of different stories. Why Raw Impact, and who was influential in helping you start that, and explain all that.
So in Raw Impact, you know, really, so after I left Western, Wilson Chandler was one like my good friend. I started working with him when he was in the NBA, you know, and I like I said, I took that opportunity to parlay. Like, okay, man, working with Wilson Chandler and working with Wilson, you know, he got so much free merchandise. In NBA, he gets so much free merchandise. So Wilson would probably get like 80 hits at one time. They just send him hits and stuff, 80. And Wilson had so much stuff, I know, and I was like his assistant. You know, he had so much stuff. He'd be like, Dre, you can throw some of this stuff away. Throw these hats away. And I'm like, shit, man, I ain't throwing away 80 hats. Shit, I'm from Persian. You throw away 80 hats. And I took all them hats. And they was fitted hats. I took all them hats to open up a hat store with one side hats. So all them hats, I opened up. I got a little store, like a little store. Matter of fact, my rent was a month was like $400. That's how I tell you how little my store was. But it was full of hats. So if you wore this size hat, I'm gonna hook you up. And I just did it just because I wanted to be different. I wanted to try something. And people was coming in the store buying the hats. It was a common size hat though. And people was buying the hats. And then when they was buying the hats, they were like, shit, man, you ain't got no t-shirt or nothing? And shit. And I put the store in Kalamazoo, which was smart, strategical, because that's where my connection was. That's where my network was. I don't understand why college athletes move out of their college area to go back home, and your network is in that area. Once you leave the nest and play somewhere else, and say you play somewhere for 4 or 5 years, and you got a great career, that's becoming your net worth. So I told myself, I'm not gonna open a store in Detroit. I'm gonna open in Kalamazoo. I'm gonna ride that San Diego State game. And like I said, I did that, and it wasn't even about the Raw Impact logo, because people was giving me, like, making me logos. I think I paid like $75 for the Raw Impact logo. And I seen this shark. You know, this dude made me. The dude at Western, he sent me the shark, emailed it to me. I'm like, man, I like this. I'm gonna put this on some t-shirts. But I didn't think it was gonna sell, because I'm like, I got all these Laker hats, Bulls hats. Why would you want a damn shark in your shirt? But I just put them in the store. I couldn't have Nike in there. And then people just was buying the shark shirts. And I mean buying them, Skip, they was buying the shark shirts.
You got your on the shark shirt.
You said what's that?
That's your logo on your shirt. Show them the shirt. It got fancy now though. It ain't used to be that fancy.
Yeah. Look, he got Timberlands on. Yeah, so people was, like I said, people was buying the shark shirts, and I started to get some momentum. And once I got the momentum, well, my mentality is just, you know, with the Kronk and the reach and the Detroit, with that mentality, like, you give me an inch, I ain't gonna take a foot. I'm taking a mile. And I just use them, and I push that logo, man. I always, at any given time, I got 20 shirts on me. At church, funerals, I kept a book bag full of shirts. And anywhere I go, I was willing to open up shop and do advertising. And I drive across the whole world. Man, I burnt myself out so bad, Raw Impact, right now, man. I'm like, shit, I'm only doing, I do corporate deals now, because I can't do the ground no more.
And then, like you said, that shop, man, I remember, because I drove up there. We used to go up there all the time, man. You had people from some of the athletes from Kalamazoo to the mayor walked in there one time, and you introduced me to the mayor. Some of the city board. So I mean, it was downtown Kalamazoo, so it was in a gray area. Did you do that on purpose, or was that like by accident?
No, I definitely did that strategically. I put it downtown strategically because it's a premier spot downtown, and the blueprint was, you know, probably $1,400, but like I said, I got it for $400. You know why?
Wow.
San Diego State game.
State game.
Mm-hmm. It's not, man. It's man. You gotta, man. I create opportunities on top of opportunities. If I scored these many points and I brought this much camaraderie to this city, they never did nothing like that. I'm gonna eat. I ate off that game for about 6 years. I dare near retired after that. I don't think I even scored another basket at Western.
I got introduced to your brand, actually, that Shark by Michigan, a rap group from Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Michigan,
okay.
Mac, Jack the Mac, and all of those guys, King James. They're a big rap group up in Kalamazoo, and they were hipping me to that. But let me ask you this. So who was your shooting guard at Western Michigan?
David Cool.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I know I'm looking at this interview and I know you don't remember me, but let me tell you some words that you said to me that were so funny that I cannot forget. Okay, first I'm gonna show you this picture. Do you see the picture?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Okay, so I'm the head coach at University of Michigan Dearborn, and we walk in. Before the game, you and David Cool are out on the court and y'all are shooting around. And I'm looking, and from some reason you told me, said, we about to get you 30 from these spots right here. And I was like, what? Like, why are they talking to me? I'm the coach. Gave me 36 from them spots right there. I was so mad. I said, I wouldn't even feed him on the ride home. I wouldn't feed him on the ride home. I said, you let this man tell you what he was going to do to us.
Man, that's what's up, man. Man, David Cool, man. I'm be honest with you, man. I done played with a lot of people. David Cool, he know how. That's a scoring guru.
For sure.
He ain't fast. He ain't got no moves. His shot not pure. I don't know what David Cool gets that ball. He can get that ball in that basket. Like we've been playing games. He had like 37, 32.
He told us
like
those were the spots he was gonna give it to us from. He was warming up. He said, I'm gonna give it to you from these spots right here. You and him was out on the court. And I'm like, this dude, and he gave 36 from that spot. Every spot he pointed out.
Bad boy. David Cool is cold-blooded because he just know how to score, and you can't guard him because he ain't gonna do nothing. He just know he got a feel for the game.
It's the basketball.
That's the poster on my wall. Western Michigan's floor up there. I don't know if you see it.
I see it right there. Yeah, I see it. David Cool, David Cool, by far the second best player I ever played on side of.
Who number one?
Eric Devendorf.
Yes.
Scary.
Lord. So, Drake, my next thing for you, man. Explain. Okay. Well, let me say this first, man. I'm proud of you. You came from the neighborhood and you got your degree in criminal justice, man. Explain that when you're walking across that stage, man, because you're from the neighborhood and you got that degree and they never could take it from you, man. Explain that just walking across that stage, because I know when I went, I know it was mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. Man, walking across that stage was definitely it was a new boost of life for me. I feel I was invisible because, come on, Skip, we ain't supposed to. I ain't gonna say we're supposed to graduate. We don't supposed to be. And at the time, Skip, when we played, everybody was doing 2 years transferring, 1 year transferring, and for somebody to stick through, like everybody, a lot of people come out of Michigan or playing the PSL, they went to school, but they always transfer. And just starting the program and sticking through the ups and downs and sticking through it. And I had a son, man, walking across that stage meant the world to me. And the reason it was because at Western definitely a white school. Definitely a white school. And I was thinking we had like 20 black players graduate my year. And I was one of the 20. And I was one of the 20 because I was wearing Murray shoes. I was wearing Murray shoes. Everybody else had shoes, so I had them Murray, the polo.
Good polo.
Hey, yeah. And then when I went up to shake them, got to shake the hand. I did the 7 mile shake. You know when you go 1, you go 2. Hey, after that, yesterday they wound up emailing me my degree.
So let me ask you this: what does Dre after walking across that stage? What does he say to Dre that was changing his grades?
The world, pat yourself on the back, but the war just begun.
That's real.
Even now with my life, man, I don't never look back. I just can't look back. It's like I climb a ladder and I just keep going. I keep going. And my wife be like, oh, we should celebrate this. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. We just signed with Walmart.
That's huge.
So Raw Impact will be in Walmart online starting Tuesday.
Congrats, bro.
And that's Walmart. And and this something, like I said, I started in Kalamazoo.
Right.
And we talking about Walmart.
Hello, Walmart.
We in there. We like I said, we signed the deal. We in Walmart. We should be in Tuesday. And my wife's like, man, we gotta celebrate. We gotta do. She's excited. And me, I'm like, I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't, because I'm healthy.
Yeah.
If I wasn't healthy, I'd be more. If I wasn't healthy, I would be more content.
Right.
I'm healthy.
Yeah.
I don't smoke. I don't drink, but shit, I got more left in the tank.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of play. I just use my basketball mentality. When a lot of players get comfortable, that's when they get caught. Now, not caught by other players, caught by themselves. Cause that's who you're competing with. And I just want to give myself, I want to give myself. I don't want to stop. I just don't want to stop. I just want to keep going. I want success to be. I just can't. I got addiction to it. I'm addicted to it.
Addicted to succeeding.
I'm addicted to succeeding, and I got that from I don't know. I just got it. I just seen too much. Seen too much, and I know it's out there. I had a chance. I had an opportunity. Just to be around different people, different celebrities, high level celebrities, and shit, they take a shit just like me.
So to follow up, now, how do you keep your son hungry like you were hungry?
That's a great question. Really, really good question. Good question. So I think with my son, how I keep him hungry is because the era different. The basketball era different. It's not as gritty. So I keep him hungry by when I train him. I train him. I don't do drill. I'm checking you. We playing one-on-one. I'm checking you. Game 5. If I block your shit, if you get your shot piece, you got to fucking run. Oh, we getting wars in there. And I guard him like I'm playing against Carlos Medlock. I'm not guarding him like he's my son. Mm-hmm. He's getting guarded for real. And I'm sitting down. And I think that's how I teach him the discipline. I teach him mentality, because a lot of people actions speak louder than words. So he pick up on my vibe when I'm in that gym, that door closed. I ain't guarding you. I'm putting you to the ground. My wife be saying, you got to cool out. Nope. Nope. And it's not, and I don't care if he go to NBA. I don't care if he go to NBA. I didn't go to NBA. I don't see a motherfucking bull in life.
Yeah, for sure.
He ain't gotta play bad. I don't care if he play basketball. As long as he a bull in life, I think I can get through him through sports because I did something he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that's how I keep him disciplined. And like I said, you gotta watch one of our training sessions. You'll be like, man, Dre, he only 13. Nope. I'm blocking shots. I'm posting up. I'm crazy.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, it get to the point where I can't even train. I can't train him in front of nobody. Parents can't watch it. It's brutal.
It's like Denzel when he was in He Got Game, when he told dude, "Don't tell me that's my son."
It's actually worse. You know why?
Why?
Because Denzel looked better than me. So, but skip. I'm already mad. My son light skinned. He look better. Look.
Oh, wait. What's wrong with light skin?
Man, light skin. They always had the advantage on me.
They always had the advantage.
They had that, and they had good hair too. Like, oh, don't be light skin with good hair. I got to guard you. I'm ready to guard.
Wow.
I want to guard. I want to check him, coach.
So I'm glad I was way before your time because you'd have killed me, huh?
Yeah, nah, man. You was the one to find it. Definitely coaching, man.
So let me
I'm light skinned with good hair.
Man, you're a hell of a coach. So look, you greedy though. You ain't been to LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, he's so smooth, but he get it done. People like that make me mad. You bust your ass, you ain't be cool.
Yes.
Don't bust my ass. Don't be cool with me. I don't want to be cool.
Absolutely. So, man, as soon as, like, for me, when I step on the court, I used to automatically just get mad because that other guard, he had no business out here on the floor. This is my floor, and I'm going to show you for 40 minutes why this is my floor. What was your mind state stepping on the floor? And how do you carry that through business right now?
Yep, same thing. That same mentality. This is my court. This is my house. And I always look for little things that's going to motivate me. That could be little things. And I just had that mentality. And then growing up playing at Reach, I mean, them the best guys. You're going to be the best guards. Garden, Marcus Pope, Tawan Porter, Carlos English. You ain't going to find no better guards than that. So anybody else I played against, it was like, until I met Curry, anybody else was like, yeah, I played against better. I battled with better all the time. So Reach kind of go back to Reach. I mean, it was hard for me to really take guard seriously because it was so, you got the best of the best right there. It's just like the best boxers get the best spars. Sure. See, people, when people watch boxing, that's the finished product. That boxing, he got his ass whooped in the gym. That's how he gets so good. But they ain't gonna tell you. You don't know who. Shit, you think Floyd that good? No, his sparring partner better. We just gonna pay him to be quiet.
It's so funny that you said it. Remember, Caddy was talking about that.
Caddy just said that.
He was just talking about
that. I know. I'm at Crunk. Listen, man. I'm like, look. I see my daddy work Tommy Hearns. Work him.
Caddy actually said that too.
My daddy worked. I couldn't believe it. And Tommy will tell you too, like, man, and that's just how life is. Sometimes people, I mean, everybody path different. Just because you beat, it's just different. You know what I mean? Maybe my daddy was real good working, in the dark, but when the lights came on, people different. It's a lot of good practice players. It's a lot of different factors that goes into things. And I think, like I said, practicing that Reach, everything else was pretty much downhill.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
My next thing for you, man. You was an NBA agent. You had numerous jobs with the NBA. If you can, just speak on that and then tell us some of your memorable moments and some of the memorable athletes.
Yep. So the funny thing about the NBA, they never could figure out what I did. The NBA couldn't. They never could figure it out. They didn't know how to label me. Like, all right, they didn't know. Like, all right, you're not an agent because they didn't know. I was like, what? They didn't know who I was. I sit right next to right next to all of them. What's my man name? My guy for the Lakers. Damn. I just fucking talk, man. Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka, Steve Mills, GM, Phil Jackson. Shit, I'm with Phil Jackson, Larry Bird. I even brought Jerry West to Vegas.
I remember that.
You seen that? I brought Jerry West to Vegas. He is the NBA. I brought Jerry West to Vegas. I let the Clippers use my facility. Jerry West was here. Shit. Doc Rivers. Shit, my phone, they all in there, but they don't know what I do. They don't know. They just know, like, shit, we let's call him, let's get him. And so my relationship is more like I like being self-made.
Okay.
I like being self-made, and I made a door for myself in the NBA, and that was called. I was like a liaison. I was like a liaison. I mean, I was like a liaison. It wasn't no title. So they didn't know how to pay me. That way I can write my own checks. This is what I charge to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't cap me. This is what I charge.
Okay.
I go back from playing for Reach.
So let's switch space then. Talk about the money team. I seen you before.
Yeah. I know Floyd. I know Floyd and him a little bit. And that's like that, and that all come from my family history with boxing.
Right.
My dad fought Floyd dad.
Mm-hmm.
They actually fought. So when my dad come down here, they him and Mayweather Senior, they got pictures of them fighting, sparring, and I think that's where that relationship come from with the money team. As far as that go back, like I said, go back with Jimmy Paul. He fought Roger Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
So my daddy fought Floyd Senior, and my uncle fought Roger Mayweather. Mm-hmm. And I think my dad was in Mayweather training camp.
Okay.
So, Mayweather Senior. So that's, so I know Floyd a little bit, but with Floyd's so big time. Floyd different. That's a different dude. He just so big time, But like I said, everything I see him doing is positive around Las Vegas area. But that's where that relationship come from. So when I see him, I see him running to him at the car dealerships a lot. What up? It's all love. It's love. It's love because he respect the legacy that my dad and uncle put before me.
So talk about that, Dre, because you probably don't remember this, man, but Pops, I'll be walking through the neighborhood, Pops will pull up on me, we'll be just talking for a long second. He'd be like, man, just get in the car, come over to the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just Pops, and then like you said, I knew who Hitman was, but I think my first time actually meeting Hitman was with your dad.
Yep.
So explain just that. I know he Pops, but explain how influential he was with you, and how he taught you to be a man.
Yep. Man, very influential in my life. My dad, he pushed me, but he pushed me a different way. He pushed me through his actions. Watching him and time he trained, that's where I got my work ethic from. And they train. And one thing about boxers, even Nate Robinson, even though he got,
Got knocked out.
I'm just gonna say,
People
you
have
gotta
no idea how tough it is to walk in them ropes, to climb through them ropes. You a winner right there, because most people can't do it.
It's just a different level. It's a different level of training too. The boxing training is like it's the hardest in any sport. Because you got to be like, everything got to be in shape. In basketball, you can call, ain't no timeouts.
That's true.
You can't call. How you going to call timeout? So the boxing, watching my daddy and Tommy and them training at that Crunch Gym, it's relentless. And then they wouldn't let me train. As a kid, you wanted to get out there, and I got to sit there and watch it. And all I was doing was observing it. But at the time, I wasn't observing it. You know what I was doing? Manifesting it. So I manifest that work ethic unconsciously.
Subconsciously, for sure.
Because I see it. Seeing is believing. And after you see, and then like I said, after you see stuff so many times, it become a memorable exercise. So my mind only knew that one gear.
No, for sure.
In one statement, where's Rick been, and where's he going?
I've been everywhere. And where am I going? I'm going to a level of clarity that can't be tapped mentally. A level of clarity. So I've been everywhere, and I'm putting myself in a level of clarity. Peace.
Peace of mind. I like that one.
Peace.
One of my last questions for you, Dre. Tell me, I know this, but tell me how influential Coach Will is in your life.
Man, Coach Will is, probably Coach Will probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because I always respected him, because he never was like a athlete, but Coach Will kind of like he's Jay-Z in my eyes. And that's big, because I'm a Jay-Z fan, so he's Jay-Z in my eyes because he had everything like a ball player, but he wasn't a ball player, which was better because he was able to master Like, it's hard to master being a basketball player and not being a basketball player, but basketball players still like you a basketball player.
True.
Even me saying that is so confusing.
Well,
and that's what it's like. Yeah. And that's what it's like trying to figure him out. He was LeBron James that wasn't LeBron James.
Good dude. Super good dude. Still to this day.
Good dude, man. Real good dude. As far as like, he's very, very knowledgeable. Very, very knowledgeable. But the thing with Coach Will was, like, when we played our AAU teams, and we'd go to practice and stuff, and all the other kids, they want to get dropped off at home. I don't want to get dropped off. I want to see what you're doing next. Let me hear how you talk in meetings. And I was, like I said, I was that player. Let me hear how you talk in meetings. And after a while, he took to me because I wanted to learn other stuff than basketball. And we just kept growing. We kept growing. Like, even to this day, you know, what he did for me is just, I mean, the knowledge he gave me, changed my life.
All right, well, I guess, Vince, you got anything else, Vince, before I ask the best question you don't have to answer?
Let's hit it.
So, Kareem's going to have to use this one for sure, because you talked about these three guys already in this podcast. So, Dre, what we do on this show is cut and start. So I'm going to give you 3 players. You got to cut one, you got to bench one, you got to start one.
All right, say it one time.
Cut, bench, start. I'm going to give you 3 players. You got to cut one, bench one, and start one. You ready?
Yep.
Jabari Curry, Wilson Chandler, Eric Diverdorf.
Damn.
Cut, start.
Cut one, start one.
And we're using this as our intro too. So, Barry watch it. I don't know if Wilson watch it. I know D watch it for sure. So be careful.
You said cut one, start one, bench one.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm gonna cut off the back. Who I'm gonna cut? Oh. Shit. Cut Jabari. I'm trying to think. Jabari.
And I'm talking about in their primes. All 3 of these guys in their primes.
Cut one, bench one. Fuck, that's a tough boy. Shit. Damn. Ooh, that's tough. I got to think about. If I cut one, it probably have to be Jabari.
So
the reason why I'm cut, huh?
You cutting Barry?
Yeah. The reason why I'm cutting Barry is because Barry was real good, but Barry was too easy to get rattled.
Okay.
But Barry was talent-wise, Barry probably skill-wise, Barry better than both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Skill-wise, Barry better than both of them. But no, Jabari get rattled a lot. And Jabari get mad at the motherfucker.
He do.
No, Jabari get mad as hell. Benching, I'm a bench. Damn. Deaver Wilson. Who would I bench? And if I want to win the game, I'm gonna have to go with Wilson. Cause he just know how to play.
So you're starting Wilson just to make sure.
I'm gonna have to start Devendorf. Devendorf good, bro. Devendorf is different.
Man, listen to me. Devendorf was on St. Rita going crazy.
Shit, I actually might have to. I'm starting Devendorf. Wilson and Jabari, they interchangeable.
So you got to tell us. So who you cut, bench, start? Give us it right now. Your cut, your bench, and your start.
In their prime, I'm gonna have to cut Wilson. I'm gonna start the bench Barry and start D. The reason why I'm cutting Wilson because I played with Barry. I knew Barry game better.
Right.
I played with Barry so I'm gonna have to cut Wilson from being Harvard.
Yeah, for sure. He's a bad boy.
I'm gonna have to cut him. I'm gonna have to cut him.
So you starting who?
I'm starting Devendorf.
You benching
Barry.
You cutting
Wilson.
Okay, that's it.
Who you going with?
Who I'm going with? That's tough. That's why I ask the questions. I don't answer them. I just ask them.
But the only reason why I probably would cut Wilson because I know Barry and I know Barry game. Cause I figured out Wilson game older. I played AAU with Wilson, but Barry I was with him. I know which ins and outs. But Wilson if I want to win a game, I'm going Wilson win games. He know how to win. He gonna do all the glue stuff.
I never forget when Ben Harbor played Denby, and Wilson caught a tip dunk, dunked on the whole team. Right, went to the middle of the court and took a bow.
yeah, he different. See, we ain't never played against. I ain't never played against Wilson in high school.
Man, he was Mr. Basketball though, wasn't
he? Yeah, but we ain't never played. We didn't play no Ben Harbor schools. We played like Pontiac Northern when they had like Arthur Wilson. Remember them days? But we ain't never played against them. We ain't never played against them. So I ain't never get a chance to experience Wilson in a real game. But back then, shit, PD been going at him.
Yeah, for sure.
So it had been different. Then we probably would our guard. We probably beat him.
Yeah, we would beat him for sure. But no, Wilson was a bad boy. Deeb was a bad boy too, and of course, hard too.
So I remember Deeb catching a tip dunk. I mean, Vince Ball was at a game. Deeb caught a tip dunk and hung it around, and he screamed out, "Chris Dunkley's not better than me." Deeb was ranked number 2.
Yeah,
they had Chris Doug number 1, but Deeb was hot. Yeah, Deeb. Listen, man, Deeb was that. Deeb, man, with that ABCD cap, he dunked on Lou Williams.
Man, I remember you coming back and told us that, man. I thought, man, the way Deeb carry yourself, bro, you would think Deeb was from 6 Mile and Davidson.
Dog, listen, man, I got some funny stories about Deeb, man. Deeb, listen, man. This how we got cool. Let me tell you this story, bro. This how me and Deeb got cool. I went to Camp Michigan with Reach. Michigan Wolverines had a basketball camp with Reach. So we all took the bus. We all went, the whole Reach. And they got like a 1-on-1 competition, 3-point competition, free throw champs, all that stuff, right? So I'm on the East Division, Deeb up on the West Division, and it was a 1-on-1 competition. And I'm like, so I knew I had to play against him the next day, but he's a white boy. So I'm like, man, and my dorm mate was Twan, TP. So we like, man, I'm like, hell yeah, I got the 1-on-1 championship. TP got 3-point. He was gonna win. He won 3. He was gonna win anyways. So like, I'm winning 1-on-1 because Reach thing was bring some trophies home.
Bring the hardware home.
Bring the hardware. You can't go to no man. If we go to camp and then bring hardware home, we run. Bring you something home, man.
Yeah. So
I knew I had that in the bag. So I played against D 1-on-1, and he lit my ass and butt up. In front of the whole camp. You play 1-on-1, the whole camp gotta watch. You gotta like. So I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm from Bay City, Michigan. I said, Bay, what the and I said, hey, look, I'm from Bay City, Michigan. I said, from where? And then I said, no, I need your phone number, bro. Something ain't right. Man, I got D phone number, right? So like a couple of days later, because on a ride home, TP and everything, like, "Great, white boy beat you, man." And I'm like, this motherfucker ain't right, bro. I'm telling you. Because the move D was making, I'm like, dog, how you fucking know? When you black, you got them little hedges. You got the stuff that you can't really pick up on. It's like the little twitch muscles.
Yeah.
So D hit me with stuff that I'm like, dog, what the fuck? And this was like when Jay Will was the time. So I'm like, dog, hold on. So I got his phone number right. So I called him like, man, hey, I want to come up there and work. I want to come to Bay City and work out with you. I just want to see for my damn self. What the fuck? He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have my mom come get you. So I knew he had bread when he said that. Our mamas ain't driving past motherfucking 7 Mile.
Or 8 miles over. You gotta walk the
right. I'm gonna have my mom come get you. I'm like, damn, she gonna drive 2 hours to come pick me up and drive 2 hours back. And you the same motherfucker I let you beat me? That's what I was thinking. Yeah, right. And he was like, and I talked to the mom. My mom was like, no, Dre, you get on the train. And I'm like, shit, this is an awkward situation for me because this mama really gonna drive. So my mom was like, well, I just got a train ticket, make a long story short. So I went down to Deeb's house. I stayed a couple of days. I stayed a weekend, right? Mm-hmm. Dog, tell me why this motherfucker had a ram in his backyard. His house was like an antique house. He had a ram in his backyard, and he just trained all day himself. Guess what music he was listening to?
What was listening to?
Fucking Jadakiss. But we played one-on-one like 100 times. She probably beat me like 98 times. And then after that, man, we became close. We became close, and we just stayed in touch. So D probably my best. He been my best friend probably since like 5th grade.
No, for sure. My last thing for you, Dre. Who would you watch on this podcast? And if you got the plug, you got to plug us.
Who would I watch on this podcast? What you mean, like what?
Just a person. Who's the person you'll watch on this podcast? And if you got the plug, you got to plug us to get them on the show.
Oh shit! You just tell me whoever you want. You know, your family.
Okay.
Whoever you need. I mean, from NBA, whoever you need, just let me know. I can like I said, I'll send him a message, talk to him. I think D would be good.
You can't get back to me yet.
Yeah, I get him up. Chris Doug would be real good.
Yeah, we need CDR for sure.
Because his game's so awkward.
Yeah, and I want to talk to him about when he was playing at Memphis with D Rose, man. Just the whole atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know who was a pro though?
Who?
You.
I heard that, man, but you know how I go, man.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. You dunked everything. Skip dunked everything. I remember one time I was at Western. We got to play against Eastern, right? And Coach asked, like, can Marvin Skip replace? I said, shit, he's suiting up. Because this one you was going through your stuff. I'm like, yeah, Skip suiting up. Like, it's in the air. They're trying to figure out. I'm like, oh, well, if he do, better put Joe Rice on his ass. Joe Rice is a senior. And you was like a freshman. Put Joe Rice on him. Well, I'm thinking like,
this is a funny story, and I know this is totally off topic, man, but when I got to tell Vince and Craig this because they don't know, but when I was going through my situation when I had my heart surgery, right? Man, I've been in the house depressed. I didn't answer no phone calls. Guess who popped up and knocked on the door, and my mama let him in, and they took me out the house for the first time?
Who?
Dre.
Yep, I remember that.
Listen to me. He didn't care about me not answering the phone. He drove all the way to 12 Mile and Ryan, knocked on the door. My mama seen it was Dre and let him in. I didn't even know he was there because I was just so messed up in the mind. I turned around, he just standing there smiling like, get dressed, we about to go out.
We went to that baby shower.
We went to a baby shower. He took us to a hood baby shower.
Hey, at the baby shower, they bumping Tupac G and Mama the whole damn time. Skip had an amazing game, man. Amazing game, man. In the MAC, because your year, Skip, the guy that got player of the MAC was my man from Ball State. Who got player of the MAC that year?
I think it was either the dude from Ball State or Bowling Green. I think my freshman year, what's the name was a senior, Samarco.
But your senior year, who got player of the year your senior year?
Oh, my senior year was
went to the NBA. He was a big man.
Yeah, it was a dude from Bowling Green. You're right.
Nothing with you.
Yeah, not true.
Nothing with you at all.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man. When I come to Vegas, tell my wife and make sure she got the room ready for me. I'm coming out there.
Yes, sir.
My producer, pull from the hip 4/5. I'm the shooter. Dog, I do ya. But the two don't discriminate, cause I shoot the guy next to you. I can see right through you.